Standing on the other side, heel forward, toe in, toe out. You can lift and just give a little tap down on the heel as you rotate in and out. Think of that long spine, head stretching up toward the ceiling, and then we'll bring that in. We're going to tap out again. Now here, you might want to stand near your chair. Squeeze your seat, stretch up tall. So when you're on one leg, we're going to lift that leg. Be sure you don't let the hip collapse like this. Keep the hip in and under you. And we're going to point the toe and circle in the hip about 4 times, and then the other direction. Okay, let's go to the other side. Now, if you're using your chair, you can just step over. You can see that being important. We're going to tap the other toe down, get that hip pulled in underneath. We'll give a little lift with that leg, and we're going to circle 2, 3, 4, and then the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's circling in the hip. Let's take a breath in. Squeeze the seat, a breath out. So with that seat squeeze kind of helping bring that trunk really straight. So as I stand, my feet are hip width apart. I'm thinking my ears being right over my shoulders being right over my hips being right over the heels. So kind of helps that imaging can help you to be very upright. Okay, let's go ahead. Standing on both feet like that, near your chair. Let's go up on the toes and down. Squeezing the seat, leg muscles firm, belly in, and then we think about weight toward the first and second toe, and the ankles being very firm with that. So it's an ankle strengthener, calf strengthener, and balance workout all together. So weight toward the first and second toe and firm ankles. If you use a chair, remember, try one finger. See if that's enough. You try to avoid gripping the chair, just a touch. Now we want to stretch the calves some, so let's bend the knees. And as you do that, check in. Make sure your knees stay separated. And it's like sinking the seat. So we're not hinging forward. Trunk is staying straight. Heels stay down. You want to feel the stretch in the calves and the heels. And then we'll nudge. For more stretch, keep your heels down. Keep the shoulders back over the hips. Okay, good. Now from here, we're going to go to a pedal. So a back and forth, where you boost yourself up in the air each time. So it's back and forth. We'll speed it up. And if you want to transition to a jog, we start with some of those impacts. Let's jog sideways or step sideways. Go the other way. Over and back. We'll stop there for a minute. A breath in, a breath out, keeping oxygen going to all the muscles while you're working. And then stay facing me. I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to just step one foot back, put the heel on the ground, and then I'm nudging with my front knee to stretch the back of the calf, keeping my shoulders back over the hips. If you can go like this, but we're trying to keep the trunk up. Now we're going to change that a little. We're going to bend the back knee, but keep your heel down. And then a little nudge with both knees. May need a hand on the chair, but this moves the stretch right down to the heel. The Achilles tendon. I'm bending both knees. And then I'm going to stretch forward, step back with the other leg, plant the heel, get my trunk over my hips. Start with just bend the front knee, back heel stays down, back knee is straight. And then I'm bending the front knee and I'm going to add a bend of the back knee. And I'm going to do a nudge. Really, this back foot back there, the back heel, really getting a good stretch. And then we'll spring forward. Okay, close to your chair. We're gonna start working on balance. Let's see if we can lift and tap your knee and almost down, lift, tap, a lift and tap, a lift and tap. So that balancing on one leg. Let's go to the other side. That tap and a tap. And you want to feel that ankle on the floor really working hard to help you with balance, and a tap, working for control. A breath in, a breath out, and then let's go right behind the chair. So in here, keep in mind if you can, one finger on the chair, or you may not need your hands at all. Step over so you can see me. And we're going to tap a foot forward and then don't let that hip collapse. Use those hip muscles, pull that hip in, and we're going to lift a straight leg and lower, slow and controlled. Let's go to the other side. Tap that out. Squeeze, keep your hip underneath you, and we'll raise and lower. And bring that back in. We'll shake the legs out a little. Okay, and then we're going to lift a leg straight backward. And that's with the straight knee, and keeping the shoulders up. So if you touch your chair in front of you, we'll tap one foot back. And then it's just a small few inches of a very strong seat contraction. And lift back together. Let's go to the other leg. And then fingers on your chair if you need it. Be careful not to lean forward like this. We're going to stay up to really engage the seat and the back muscles. That controlled lift, tap down, lift, lift, and lift. Okay. Breath in and out. Circle the shoulders back. Okay. Let's go ahead and separate the legs. Out like this. And then go ahead, bring the shoulders back over the hips. So if you were to look at yourself from the side, be straight from the shoulders to the hips. And then we point the toes out and push the knees out so they're going toward your toes. And then we'll nudge. So by keeping the knees kind of facing toward the toes, it makes so the knee is not twisted. And let's come down, we'll settle there. We're going to straighten one knee and then the other. Stimulate the joint capsule of the knee. Shoulders staying back. I find I want to drift forward, but we're trying to stay back to use the back muscles. Straighten and straighten. And then we'll nudge again. Stretching in the hip, push the knees out, push the knees wide. And then let's go ahead and we'll bring the legs back together. Squeeze the seat. And let's do a half jumping jack. We'll use both arms and one leg, up to the side and down. Half and down, half and down. Kind of getting a feel for that balancing on one leg so you can hold it momentarily and come back. Hold, come back down, hold, and down. Good, good control. Last one, and down, and also getting the muscles from the side of the hips with that. Okay, up to the toes with the next breath, a breath in and out. Tighten the seat one more time, a breath in and out. Circle the shoulders back. Okay, so if you don't already have it, we're going to use an elastic band today, later, not yet. Elastic band, and we're going to go on the floor at the very end of class. So that's what's coming. Right now, we're going to go to the chair and get ready to sit. So for this, you want your chair behind you. You want to be directly in front of your chair. You want to feel the back of your legs on the chair, and then you want to check that you're centered. Look down at your chair, feel the corners of your chair. And we're going to do, for just getting back to exercising, for strengthening and doing better with the sitting and standing, we're going to do elevator type of movement here. So what you want to do with this, flex up the hips and bend the knees a little. The back is straight and lower till you can touch your chair. Check in with your knees that the knees are separated. If the knees collapse in, you don't use your hip muscles. So we want the knees separated. Pull the belly in, and let's go down to the count of 5 slowly to the chair. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and soft landing. A breath in, a breath out. We're going to lean forward. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Feet are flat. And let's see if we can go up. So 5. Let's see if we can go up to level 5, which is nearly all the way up, and your seat is still sticking out. Let's see if we can go to level 3, halfway to the chair. Level 2, and back up to level 5, which is kind of a 3/4 of the way up, like position. Check, you're still in front of your chair. Okay, let's see if we can go to level 1. Just hover over your chair. Level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Here, let's bring the hands to the knees and let's curl. Look toward your lap, pull in your belly. Let's look forward and arch the back. Pull in the belly and curl. Look forward and arch. Let's just bring the arms up and feel that stretch and that core strengthening in your back, and then bring yourself all the way up. Arms down, circle the shoulders back. Let's bend the knees a little. Touch your knees. Then widen the shoulders, pull in the belly, and let's go slowly to the chair. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll land on the chair. Take a breath in, a breath out. Go ahead and take off your shoe Keep them nearby, we'll use them later. Yeah, we're gonna do the sitting part of our workout. So let's come halfway forward in the chair. And from here, what we'd like to do is we're going to start with the toes. So this is why it's much better with shoes off. Okay, put your hands on your knees. Give a push to help straighten the back. Pull in the belly and squeeze the seat while you're there. And then with those muscles contracted to hold you up straight, we can drop the arms. Now for the toes, we're just gonna, you can look carefully at my feet. I'm lifting my toes, but the ball of the foot stays on the ground. And then I'm gonna curl my toes so that I have really big contracted arch. My arch is lifted and my heels and my tippy toes are touching the ground. Don't forget your seat. Flat, lift the toes, curl to a big arch. So all the movement is in the toes. Lift the toes, ball of the foot touches down, curl the toes. The ball of the foot and the arch lift, flat and lift, curl and lift. Flat, lift your toe, curl, lift your arch. Flat, lift your toes, curl, lift your arch. And then we're going to go ahead and put the feet flat and use some other ankle muscles. You're going to bring your fist between your knees to keep the knees in position. So lightly press your knees against your fist. And then we're going to rock the foot. So if my hand were a foot, it's going to lift the inner part, lift the outer part. So that lift, if you watch my feet now, lifting, my big toe comes off the ground. My foot is resting along the outside border of my foot. But my knees never leave my fist. Rock in, and now my weight's on the inside border of my foot. The outside edge of my foot has lifted. Rock out, rock in. My knees never leave my fist as I rock out and in, and you feel this, the inside and the outside of your ankles. Important muscles in walking to have them strong and reactive. In and out, and in, out. And then we'll bring your feet flat. We're going to separate the feet. We're going to bring the arms up. Elbows wide. We're going to start with flexibility. We're going to bring one elbow over to the knee and come up. Other elbow twist, bring it to the knee and up. This is also good for abdominal muscles, the twist and pull it over and up and twist, pull it over, come up. Let's add a knee lift with that. So now keep your back straight, twist and lift. So we're not leaning over. We're doing a twist and a knee lift. So more about abdominal strength, less about flexibility. That turn with the lift and the turn with the lift. Let's reach up, a breath in. A breath out, go to the floor. Let yourself dangle a minute. Let your head just fall. Feel your neck relax. Then walk your hands forward on the floor till you can reach no further, and then start walking your hands up an imaginary ladder. One step at a time, your back muscles slowly bringing you up. Want to strengthen in the back. We get up, let's stretch, reach, or reach, or reach. And then reaching both hands, we're gonna fold over toward the floor and reach one foot, let your head fall to your knee or toward your knee. And then to use the back muscles coming up, we reach out, back muscles slowly lift you. To the other side, reach toward your foot, head toward your knee. And reach out and slowly lift. Okay, now we have, let's reach up, get that long back, bring the knees in. Keep the long back as you bring your hands down. We're sitting halfway forward in the chair, the heart's lifted, the shoulders are wide. Now we're gonna lift one knee and point the toe. We're gonna circle in that ankle. Big, slow circles, getting your full range of motion, and we'll go the other way. This is about maintaining motion. If you do it too fast, you don't get the full motion. So it's all about slow and complete. Keeping that straight back, we'll reach forward, give a pull on the knee, stretching your hip. Now hold that leg up there. We'll bring the hands away and we'll slowly lower to the floor. Let's reach up, reach, getting that long, tall spine. Keep that long spine as we lift the knee and point the toe. So this is core muscle work, especially the back. And then we'll circle slowly. We want to get that full motion of the ankle, prevent stiffness, and then circle the other way. Back is straight, heart lifted. Slowly circle. And then reach forward, grab your knee and give a pull. So I pull the knee to me, so my back is real straight. Then I'm gonna let go, keeping the knee up, back straight, and slowly lower. Okay, the breath in, a breath out. Okay. Looking good, everybody. Looks like you haven't lost too much out there. Looks really good. Let's make sure you have space. We're going to be turning sideways now for some of this work. What we want to start with, sitting halfway forward in the chair, we're going to do toes out, knees out, chest wide, belly in, so you don't have too much arch. We're going to press up to the tippy toes, come down, toes in, knees squeeze up to the tippy toes, and down, toes out, knees out, up, down, toes in, knees squeeze, up, down. Then we'll go forward. And we're gonna turn sideways in the chair. So we're good. You just all turn sideways and we'll let the front knee kind of go forward. So I'm on the ball of this back foot. And I've got one hand on the chair to help me keep my spine straight. We'll do a backward arm circle. Working on full shoulder movement here. Bring it down, open and close. Should bring that arm out to the side. And then open the fingers. Watch your fingers as you touch your opposite shoulder. Watch your fingers as they go around behind you. And again, opposite shoulder. In around behind you. And then let's just bring that hand to the back of the chair. And we're going to bring that foot, bring those toes toward the front leg and come on the ball of the foot there. And we're going to stretch out and stretch in and touch the other knee. Coming out, press that out, and the touch. Bring that foot flat and scooch yourself over onto the chair. So you're firmly centered on the seat of the chair. We're going to put one hand here on the seat of the chair. The other hand is up here on the back of the chair. And we're going to apply pressure. And this is for bone density of the wrist and strengthening of the triceps, the pushing muscles, straightening the back. And then if you don't have shoulder or wrist problems, you can maybe push yourself up off the chair. And if you're fairly confident with that, you can lift your hips forward and contract the seat. And then come back and lower. So for that exercise, the first part is the most important, the pressure on the chair with both hands, right? At kind of at the heel of the hand. And if you have, the structure that supports it, you can do the next part. If not, just keep your light pressure. But if you are okay with it, you can push up, seat back over the chair and slowly down, all with control. So let's step over to the other side. And we'll get into that starting position, which was sideways, and I'm on the ball of the foot in the back. Just letting my knee drop. Let's get that shoulder moving, those big backward arm circles. Get that shoulder fully moving. And then open and close your hand to the side. Spread those fingers. Spread and close and then spread. Now for flexibility of the spine, we're going to twist and touch the opposite shoulder. Keep your eyes on your hand. And then to the back. Always watching the hand. Shoulder, shoulder, to the back. And this time, let's just swing this arm. And loosen it up. And then hand to the back corner of the chair. Foot coming to the front leg of your chair. And maybe sliding forward a little to grab the chair behind your seat. And we'll kind of lift. And then we're going to stretch the hip. So that front knee comes out until it points toward the screen. And then front knee comes to touch your other knee. You squeeze and you'll feel your stomach muscles contract as well as the hip. Out. Stretch. In. Stretch. Bring that foot next to my other foot, slide myself over onto the chair where I can grab next to my hip here. Other hand grabs the back of the chair. And I'm going to give a light push through the heel of my hands. And I feel that pressure into the bone. And then if I'm okay with it, you're okay with it, you can push your whole seat off the chair. Lift the seat forward, push the belt buckle toward the ceiling, back over the chair, slowly lower. The first part, the light pressure, is the most important. If that's what works for you, just hold your pressure. You can give that extra oomph. This movement, all that, really good for bone density. Okay. Let's go ahead. We're going to step back to the center. And it's time for first aid to the wrist. Because when you put that pressure into the wrist, you want to then distract and move the joint. So I'm flapping my hands. I have straight elbows. I'm straightening my back. Think of widening the shoulders. So instead of reaching forward like this, I'm trying to pull the shoulders back. As I do this, I'm going to open and close, really spreading the fingers as I come out to the side, spread and close, spread and close. And then I'm going to relax and circle in the wrist. So relaxed fingers, slide with your ankles. I'm going to slow and complete, and then in the other direction. Keep the wrist happy. Let's take a breath in. A breath out, and then circle the shoulders back. Keep the shoulders happy also. So really exaggerated backward shoulder circles. Okay, now let's come way to the front edge of the chair. We want to go ahead and go to the abdomen. So in this position, we'll then straighten the back, cross your wrists over your chest, pull the belly in, and then with that straight back, slowly lower yourself to the back of the chair. So it's like doing halfway sit up there, and then we'll lift up. We'll come forward a little, and just like a very slow moving machine, touch, lift, trying to maintain that slow, steady speed of movement. Feet are flat, knees separated, back is staying straight. And this time we'll go back and we're going to stay there. Now we're going to drop the hands. We're going to, let's bring the fingertips to the belly, and let's think of pulling the belly button toward the backbone and actually reducing the arch of the back with that. So the low back is much straighter. We're going to take one leg at a time. Lift, straighten, lower. Lift, straighten, down. Bend, straight, slowly down. And let's go to the other side. Once again, contract the belly. You could feel your low back if you want. Make sure your low back is fairly flat. Relax your neck, tousle the head. Keeping that belly contraction, we're going to lift, straighten the knee, slowly down. Lift, straighten, slowly down. Make sure you still feel that tightness under your fingertips. Lift, straighten, slowly down. Relax the neck. Lift, straighten, slowly down. We'll do straight knees. So now we'll do a belly breath to tighten. So in through the nose, let your belly expand. Compress your belly with your belly muscles to make the air come out. And lift both feet about 4 inches. And then we'll do flutter kick. Keep that belly contracted and tightened. Try to keep your neck loose. And we'll slowly lower. One more belly breath. Compress the belly. Lift 4 inches. We're going to separate and cross. Separate, other side on top. Separate, belly keeps in, keeps your low back flattened. Cross, and we'll lower with that. Okay, we're going to bend, scooch on your chair just a little so you don't fall. Flip forward, cross your hands, squeeze the belly straight back, and we'll lift up, and we'll reach up. And then we're going to separate the legs a little for some support, and we're going to do a big circle with the upper body, reaching out to the side, to the floor, to the side, up and other directions, side, floor, side, up, and we'll bring the legs in. And then go ahead, if your band is handy, we would like to use the band. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can do the exercise without the band. While we're still seated, we're going to do one exercise with the band. So for this one, we hold that hands a few inches apart, bring them to the chest, and we're going to push up one arm at a time. Practice that. Keeping that straight back, keeping your stomach pulled in. Contract the urinary muscles, like you're trying to stop urination. And let's add some legs with that. So we'll go out and in, and out and in. So getting core and hips involved. As you go up, good push, stretch your trunk. A good push to stretch your trunk. So kind of like we do with our side bends. You really stretch the side body. 2 more. Last one. And in. Okay. Let's go ahead. We're going to get our shoes on and then stand. You could do some more exercises with the bands. For this, we're going to scoot back halfway in the chair. Do not way out on the edge. We're going to bring this across this band across the front of your belly and anchor your fists at the sides of your trunk. Feet straight ahead. Hinge at the hips. And we want to try and stand. So if you need a little help, you can just reach down and push on your chair. Usually if you get the chest forward, you can come up. Okay, good. Now while we're standing here, let's push one hand forward. And then we're going to watch the hand go behind, in front, and back to the waist. That big push, good for the triceps. The twist is good for the trunk. Back, forward, and down. One more time, each side. Straight elbow, twist, front, and in, a push, twist, front, and in. Okay, from here, we're going to start with a plie movement for the hips. So if you are thinking of balance, you want to be behind your chair. The position is this plie position, which is a little easier for balance. So we're going to start. We'll put this at the waist, hands on each side, elbows back, and let's step out, toes out, knees out, and then we bend the knees. So pointing the knees out kind of toward the toes. Let's nudge. Let's straighten each knee. We're going to go into some lunging maneuvers and things where the knee needs to be usually pretty limbered up. Okay, we'll come down. And then we're going to bring the hands forward and separate them. So you're more like over a foot apart. I have my elbows wide, forearms straight ahead. Okay, all right, I'm going to bring this up, straighten my arms and push out, bend my elbows, and swivel forward. Up, so you frame your face, straighten the elbows, push out, bend the elbows, frame your face again, forward. So it's swiveling right in the shoulders when I do this, straightening, getting the triceps, bend, swivel forward. The swivel part's for the rotator cuff. This is for the triceps. Then swivel forward. Let's bring it to the waist. And we'll bring our legs in and give a shake. Now what we want to do is work on a back strengthener. So for this, we have the feet hip width apart. we bend the knees slightly. We're going to keep the hands to the sides of the body with the elbows pulling back. And then right at the hip, we're going to hinge to come up. We're just going to push the hips forward to be straight. My knees stay slightly bent. I'm going to hinge forward and straighten up. I'm going to change that. I'm going to put the rope under both feet if you have one. If you don't have one, the exercise is still the same. Separate my feet about hip width apart, bend both knees. Okay, and then I'm going to hinge forward and straighten. And hinge forward and straighten. And then if I feel like I have, I could use more muscle, I'm going to bend my elbows. So bending my elbows about 90 degrees. Your palms would face in or face down. And then I'm going to hinge and straighten. Idea here is using the rope for resistance. And as you push your hips forward here with the band, you get more strengthening. So you're using the resistance. Hinge, hinge forward. And then we're going to hinge and stay there. And we're going to take turns rowing. So holding onto your band, we're going to pull on one side and then the other side. The idea here is the elbows go right back and toward the ceiling, working on the postural muscles that hold your shoulders wide. If your band is loose or your band's not very strong, you could cinch up a bit here as you pull and pull, getting the muscles between the shoulder blades, also the biceps. Nice functional movement using a lot of muscles. We'll alternate and alternate. And then let's just push the hips forward. We'll stand for a minute. Circle the shoulders back. And now, instead of using the back, we want to use the legs for standing. So for this, feet are hip width apart still. Let's try to squat and stick your seat out. So I've gone much lower. And then I'm cinching up here on the band. And then I'm going to stand. I'm going down. And I'm pretty cinched up on the band and stand. So working on strengthening the leg muscles and the seat muscles. And similar strengthening to doing a squat. Over and up and over and up. I'm going to stay up and I'm going to release some of that tension. For me, I have to go all the way back to the ends of the band. And I'm going to do some tapping to the side. I'm going to tap out and in. So against the resistance of that band, tapping out and in, squeeze your seat. Lift the heart, really using the hip muscles. Let's go to the other side, that tap out and in. Tight seat, lifted heart, going for tap, control, slow release. Tap, pause, slow release. Tap, pause, slowly, slow release. Let's do a breath. Shoulder circle. Another breath. Now we just want to leave one foot in the band. And probably want to have a chair close by. We're going to do some back lunges. So if you have a chair, make sure you scoot it back a little so that it's still there once you lunge back. So this will be a back lunge. You keep the front foot, the one with the band on the ground. The free foot will Come to the ball of the foot, stepping back, shifting your trunk so your shoulders are back over your hips. We're going to do 2 biceps. Thumb to shoulder, and down, thumb to shoulder, and down, step forward. And we'll do that again. Step back, position your lunge, thumb to shoulder, and down. Now you can do this even if you don't lunge. Do this biceps move. One more time. Keep your elbows close to your sides. Only it's a hinge at the elbow. Thumb is coming right up. And we'll step forward. Let's switch legs. So having the band under the foot also puts more force into the hip with your lunge. Okay. Back to the ball of the foot. Shift your shoulders back. Reminder, check your toes past your front knee. You're going to be able to see your toes down there. Okay, we'll do our double biceps pull. Elbows stay right at your sides. They're glued there. Straighten. We'll step forward, step back. 2 biceps, fully bend, fully straighten. 1 more. Fully bend, elbows in, elbows in. Okay. We'll step forward. We're going to unloop. Separate the hands. Let's do a breath in, a breath out, a breath in, a breath out. And then we're going to separate the hands. We're going to do one more thing to kind of loosen the knees. So we're going to have the hands about shoulder width apart. We're going to do a pull, back, a push forward, pull, push forward. Now as you push forward, we're going to kick the seat. Kick, pull, kick, pull the elbows back, kick the seat, pull, kick, pull, kick. Okay, let's go in a circle. Always nice to have the rope for that. We go a circle the other way. Going to loosen the shoulders up. And we'll put this away and we're going to get ready to go on the floor. So for this, I do recommend shoes off. So we want to go to the side of the chair, step 1 foot forward. So I start standing near the back of the chair. I bring 1 foot forward. So the chair is there. You can use 1 hand. I can use 2 hands. I'm going to lower 1 knee to the floor. From here, I want to go ahead and sit on the floor. Push my chair a bit out of the way and go ahead and sit down. We're going to start with some sitting exercises. The camera. Like to do is we like to sit on the floor and be able to keep a straight back. So if you have tight legs, sometimes you have to sit on a pillow. So this is a good time, if you need it, to grab a pillow to sit on so that you can straighten your back better. Some people, it's absolutely impossible to sit with a straight back because usually their hamstrings are tight. So I'm trying to sit pretty straight here. I'm gonna bring one knee up and pull, and that pull can help with a straight back too. When you pull on that knee, it enables you to straighten your back. This other foot, I'm gonna flex and extend the ankle fully. And then I'm gonna switch to the other side and give a pull, and then fully flex and extend that ankle. I'm going to bring the legs down. I'm going to place my hands on my knees. Now I'm going to curl and then give a push on the knees to straighten. My elbows are straight. Bend the elbows and curl. Forehead falls towards your knee. And then push and straighten and then reach up. All these things using the core muscles real strongly when you're sitting on the floor. And then we'd like to be able to grab one knee and watch me the first time, slowly go down, use the other leg to kick you back up. So kind of a technique for sitting up in bed. Try it now, grab one knee, slowly roll back, use the other leg to help you kick up. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 times, but then your body figures it out. We'll do one more time and a kick. Let's try the other leg. A hold, going back, and a kick. And one more time. And a kick. And from there, we're just going to go on the side. So, and today, we're going to lay down and support your head with your arm or a pillow if you want. We're going to bend the lower leg, straighten the top leg, and pull back. So you want your hips perpendicular to the ground. We're going to do a leg lift. Bring your fingertips there, and we're going to lift, and your fingertips reach toward the side of the knee. And to lift and reach. If you're finding it too easy, it's probably because your leg is forward. You can lift real far there, but you're not using the hip muscle. So we want to pull the knee back and lift. You have much less motion there. And the side of the hip works much harder. And a lift. Good. Okay. And then let's pull that knee to the chest. Slide your hand to the ankle and pull that heel towards your seat. A breath in, a breath out. And let that pull back a little further, really stretching in the thigh. Okay, we can let go of that. We're going to push up and go to the other side. Go ahead and lay down. Bend the lower leg, top leg, pull back. If it's forward, you don't use the correct muscle. Pull back, lay your hand on the side seam, and we lift and reach toward the knee. So usually, fingertips can't quite get to the knee. If you're truly lifting to the side, you feel it kind of in the back, outside part of your hip. Okay. And then we'll bend the knee and stretch those muscles. Slide your hand down to your ankle. And then we pull that heel back toward the seat and just get a great stretch in the front of the thigh. A breath in, a breath out. Push that knee back a little more. Okay, then we'll relax that and let's turn over onto the back. And we're going to work on using the abdominal muscles. Start with your feet flat, knees bent. Place your fingertips on each side of your abdomen, a little below the belly button. And then contract those muscles to force your low back to flatten to the floor. Keep that low back flattened. We're going to lift one knee and we're going to alternate a tap down, focusing on the low back staying lowered toward the floor. So a tap, tap, tap. So it requires the stomach muscles really working to keep the low back flat. Okay, then let's bring both knees up. We'll grab and pull and rock side to side to relax the muscles. Okay, and then to get up, we'll straighten one leg and tuck the chin. And we'll do our rocking type motion, that kick to roll you up. Okay, well, a lot of you got right up there. Okay, so let's, to get up, let's go to hands and knees. And then you could go back over to your chair if you need it. If you're pretty practiced at getting up from the floor, let's tuck both toes and lift the knees. Walk your hands in towards your feet. And then we'll get up. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do 5 deep breaths. If anybody is available to stay for stomping, we'll do some additional stomping because we only got a very small amount of jogging in before. So let's do the 5 deep breaths for anybody that has to go at this time. In through the nose, out through the mouth, feet hip width apart. Stretch your spine long. Here we go. Circle back. Okay, so if you want to stay for stomping, so the stomping is that bone density of the hip, for the part of the hip that doesn't have good circulation. So I'm going to put on a little music. We're trying to get 100 impacts into each leg. You can do it on your own, or you can stay and do it. It's kind of, I'm going to turn off the music so I have a beat to follow. So I'm thinking of the force into my heels, although my feet are flat. Now I'm stretching up, got my feet working. I can focus a little on the front, pull the belly in. Urinary muscles tightened, and I'm going to speed it up. Slow it down. I'm going to stop front and side because changing direction, it's more impact to the hip. Together in front, side. And I'm going to do with a hop, stomp, 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 hop. Slower. Hop. 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 up. Now I'm gonna raise and lower, so up, down, up, thump, up, thump, thump. And you can, we'll do a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, thump. 1, 2, 3. If you want to change that thump to a jump, you can. The jump is flat-footed. Most of the force still goes to the heel. And pedal to a jog. And lifting the knees higher, so you work the hips more. Okay, I think that would get our probably 150 impacts into each leg. Okay, let's go ahead, 5 more breaths. If you're still here, squeeze the seat. And a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth.